And here we go, coming into Poolville. This used to be the fire department over here. They do still have a community center here. But Poolville's just a little burg. They don't have much of anything anymore. Although I can say, if you can see, let me get over here closer. If you can see that little merry-go-round type thing right there, that thing's been there since I was a little kid. That thing's been there over 50 years. Well over 50 years. But yep, this is Poolville. Every summer was spent here up to 1980 or 1981. I can't remember which year it was. My grandmother died. My grandfather died in 75. And after my grandmother passed, and her house is up here a little ways, I'll show you her house. My mom and my aunt, they had to sell the house. So, and they only got, let's see, they sold it for $17,000. And boy, I'll tell you what, the woman who bought it was from New Jersey. Her husband was a lawyer, and she totally redid the inside of the house. Now, there have been multiple people who've owned it since then, and the one person who owned it painted it purple. My grandmother's house was always white with green trim, and when they painted it purple, oh, I said my grandmother's got to be turning over in her grave because it was a bright purple. And then the people who moved in after that put, I guess, their cedar shingles on it. Shake shingles, I don't know what you call it. But it sure looks better now than it did then. That's for sure. Puppy dogs are all out this morning. I'm going to cross over here. My grandmother's house is at least 250 years old, if not older than that. It was, like I said, Poolville was founded in, I believe it was 1792. And her house was the very first telegraph office, the very first post office, the very first telephone office. So her house has a lot of history to it. And this is it over here. And it had a barn out in back, but the people who are living there now tore the barn down, and which was such a shame, because even that barn was part of history. Because when you think about it, they had to have, the people lived here who took care of the post office and the telegraph office and the telephone office. And yeah, by that big tree there was a barn, so they had to have some place to keep their horse, right? Well, my bedroom was the upper left hand side. There was where my sister and I stayed. Mom and Dad stayed on the upper right hand side, and I just miss those days. I really, really do. But what are you gonna do? Not much you can do. So this building up here that's kind of orangish used to be a little store run by a man named Mr. Farnsworth. And I'll tell you what, when we were up here in the summertime, this was the only place you could come and get penny candy. He had a huge barrel full of dill pickles, and I swear to God, they were the biggest dill pickles I ever saw. He had a huge wheel of cheese under glass, really sharp cheese too. So you could go there and you could get cheese. It was a nice little country store. Now it's bed and breakfast. Yep. And then of course they have the church. And that's about it. That's it for Poolville. The rest of it's just houses. They don't even have the fire department. Post office used to be up here in a house. The house is gone now. They tore it down. But yeah, their mail comes out of another town now. So, you know, it's like, hey, what are you going to do? But it is a nice little town. And I do miss it. Even though I only live a couple miles from here. But I do miss it. Well, folks, I'm going to let you go for right now. And I'm sure you'll be seeing another part to this. Y'all take care. God bless. Bye-bye.